Hey everybody, welcome to Wacky Wednesday number 137 on the Man Leek. I'm John as always, and with Chandelar out of the way, we'll perhaps go back to it someday and maybe play something completely different like a red-black deck or green Stompy or something. But for now, Chandelar is gone and we're going to move on to Momir Basic for a week, and then next week we'll do something rather different. You'll see then. Stay tuned. But this week we're going to play some Momir Basic, so I'll see you guys once we get an opponent. And here we are for our first match. We've won the die roll, so we are going to play first. If you're new to Momir, it's a fun thing. You have a deck of 60 basic lands, so you will never draw anything but lands. You can then tap X mana and discard a card to put a token on the battlefield. It's a copy of any creature from Magic's history. And that's it. So no combat tricks, no spells, none of that. Everything is on board. The strategy that I employ anyways is if you are on the play, you don't play anything until turn 3. That allows you to get to turn 8, creating a creature every single turn. Not turn 8, 8 lands. And 8 mana is where some of the most ridiculously powerful cards live. The greatest density anyways. Certainly there are good 9s and 10s and etc. But there are also really, really bad ones. The density is a lot lower up there. So our opponent got a Suture Priest, a 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain 1 life, so that's going to be every single turn. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your opponent's control, you may have that player lose 1 life, so that's going to be every single turn. That's a pretty good 2-drop. So we're going to drop a 3-drop and lose a life from that Suture Priest. And see how things go from there. A lot of people will also ask me, why do I always just play mountains? So we got a 2/2 flanker that we can give vigilance. That's pretty good. The reason I always play mountains first is because the majority of activated abilities in Magic's history are red. So having a lot of red sources available is really, really good. Think fire breathing and things like that. On the flip side, Forest Walk and Island Walk are the most common basic land walks, and so you really want to avoid putting down forests or islands unless you really, really have to. So that's why I will play mountains followed by swamps usually, and generally never play forests or islands. Opponent got a 4/2, a Rozga Frillback from Rivals of Ixalan. Pretty decent card. So I can never remember flanking. Flanking is gets blocked. -1/-1. Right. So we can attack in for 2, assuming we have a blocker held back for this. So we'll drop a 4-drop, lose a life. We get a 1/4, which doesn't block the Frillback that well. But I think I'm fine taking 4. Well, no, we'd only get a couple of life taken off of them. No, we shouldn't attack here. That Suture Priest is actually going to be a pretty good amount of value over the game. I don't think I've ever seen a Suture Priest on 2. Pretty good. Pretty good. Opponent's 4-drop is Surrak, the Hunt Caller. Good old 5/4. And if they have power 8 or greater, which they do at the moment, all their creatures are going to have haste. So Surrak, surprise, has haste. Hooray. We're taking 5. Yay. We're going to lose this game is what's going to happen here. I'm going to trade for the Frillback. So that's 3 mana for 3 mana. And I'm going to take 5, go to 17, and feel sad. Which I hope resolves. 5-drop. Lose a life. 2/2. Flying. First strike. Banding. Doesn't do much. Especially not against the hasty 5-drop that they're going to get. I guess they could hit a 1-power creature, and then it wouldn't have haste. But Surrak is still sitting there as a 5/4. Play a creature, gain a life. It's a 3/3 flyer. So we're going to take 8. Or wait. How does banding work? We can actually band these, block the 3/3, and kill it. So if we go if we go block with banding. How do I band? How band? How band? I want to band. Any creatures with banding and up to 1 can attack in a band. Bands are blocked as a group. Can you not band on blocking? If any creatures with banding you control are blocking or being blocked by a creature. Can't we band here? Can't we band? I clearly don't seem to understand how banding works. If any creature with banding you control are blocking. No, I guess you can't block as a band. Alright, let's take 8. Yeah, I guess we never really blocked as a band in Chandelar, did we? Alright, let's drop a 7-drop, lose a life. And by 7-drop, I mean 6-drop. Lose a life, and hope that we somehow survive. It's a 4-2. That's it. But blocks and kills Surok, I suppose. Pass the turn. This is going to be a 4-4. They get themselves a hasty 6-drop. It's a 4-4, already has haste. And up to 2 creatures can't block. So that can't block and that can't block. So we block there. And we take 4, 8, 9. And we're dead. Cool. Fun. So that's one side of Momir. You can get very unlucky. But hey, Magic is variance. You may as well make the entire game variance. I do enjoy this just as a nice relaxing sort of getaway. Plus you have to really think about combat damage, and you have to think about board states. It really helps you in those situations where you have a bunch of creatures on the board trying to think things through. Also, no sideboarding decisions, which is pretty decent as well. Alright, back in for game 2. We're going to play first, which means we're going to play starting on 3. We're going to drop a mountain and pass the turn. Ixalan Mountain and a go. Follow that up with an Innistrad Mountain and a go. Opponent's going to play on 2. Come on, not a Citra Priest. Also not a Mana Dork. One time, one time. It's a 2-2. That's it. Very unlikely for it to ever have first strike. Or I guess everything is first strike. So just a 2-2 is fine. Our 3-drop can hopefully compete with it. Our 3-drop is... We're playing Chandelar again. We got a Bird Maiden. Our 3-drop does not compete with it at all. Why is Arabian Nights highlighted in the flavor text? Alright. Drop your 3-drop. What do you got? It's a 3-6. Pretty good. Blocks for days. Alright, so we're going to take 2 here because we can't really block it. I guess we're going to get to fly in for 1. 4-drop's going to need to block a 3-6 as well as a 2-2 though. Our 4-drop is... not good enough. It's a 3-2 flyer, which is actually decent. We're losing this race, but flyers are really, really, really key in Momir. So if our 5-drop is able to stabilize the board a bit, we have a very good game on our hands here. I say it before our opponent gets a 4-drop flyer. Our opponent gets a 1-1. That's it. They can pay 2 green, tap, and discard a card to gain 2 life, which they will not do. So we're going to take 5 here. That's fine. We're losing the race, but hopefully our 5-drop stabilizes things and we're able to get in for 4 here. Five-drop is A 2/5. And we can give something vigilance. Sweet. So we can bond it to Chorus of the Tides. And then we can bash in the air for 4. Our 2/5 blocks everything they've got, and we're in really good shape. We've got them on a 5-turn clock now in the air. Hopefully we can speed that up. Opponent's 5-drop is a Dementia Sliver, a 3/3. All slivers have tap. Choose a card name. Target opponent reveals a card at random. If it's the named card, they discard it. So, I mean, they can pick one of 5 lands. So they have a 20% chance of... Well, it's not exactly 20% chance, but you get my drift. So they may do that just for value. And it would actually really screw me up. So our... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, Shivan Dragon's gonna do some work here. So we're gonna come in for 4. Take him to 15. Next turn we're looking at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Taking him to 2. Pretty good, pretty good. They need an answer or a flyer. Rapid. Their 6-drop is a 3/3. And that's it. So they are still in trouble. All right, they're going for it. Are they going to name Mountain because it's the most likely? They're going to name Island because they assume I'm holding it back. They name Island. I reveal a forest. So we want to play the forest next turn because they know we have one in our hand. Oh, but we have a mountain. All right, well, we play the forest because they know we have it. We come in for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Drop a 3-drop. Yeah, we may as well do that. Let's fire breathe our dragon. There we go. We'll take him to 2. And then we'll drop a 3-drop. And it's a 3/2 menace. Even more evasion. All right. We were the lucky ones this time. 7-drop, does it save them? It does not. It's a 5/5 hexproof. So they could not get the flyers, and our flyers just stomped them. Flyers are good in Momir. Flyers are real good. Protect them as much as you can. Back for match 3. Our opponent's on the play this turn, which means we get to play 2-drops. And we get to see what our opponent's strategy is. A lot of people will play a 2-drop even on the play, and then they'll skip perhaps a 3-drop. Perhaps they'll skip their 7-drop because they're really afraid of Phage. There are other strategies that you could try out, but I stick to my on the play 3, on the draw 2. Some people play 1-drops. Some people I've seen play 0-drops. I do not recommend that. So our opponent is a 2-dropper. So they're going to have to skip something else in order to get to 8. They play their 2-drop and it's a 1/1. That is garbage. And that's why I don't do it. There are decent 2-drops, but there's also a lot of really bad ones. So I just don't find it worthwhile to ever play one and then have to skip something bigger. My 2/2 gets in. If they do skip 3, then I just get to attack here for free. And they are a 3 skipper. Alrighty then. So we're going to do our 3. We get a 1/3 that when it enters the battlefield, you may return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to your hand. Deal. Sold. Sold. And we'll bash in for 2. So now we could actually go to 10, or yeah, to 10, but I'm not going to. 10 is still somewhat mediocre. But it's more lands that we can put on the battlefield for more activated abilities, things like that. Obviously, there is good 10 stuff. You know, there's Ulamog and such, but there is some pretty bad 10 stuff as well. You know, paying full price for a Ghoul Tree doesn't do very much. 2/3 first strike, that's a little bit gross, and it's a 4/5 every time they put a land on the battlefield, which is going to be every turn for the next 4 turns. So that's a threat. That is indeed a threat. So let's drop a 4-drop, see what we can find. It's a 3/4 haste. My creatures all get haste as well. Cool. Well, I will bash in for 3. Since I'm not going to block a 4/5 first striker with that. I might with that, though. So we'll get in for 3. My 5-drop's going to have haste. We saw last game, or game 1, how good that was when our opponent had everything hasty. So we should get some good stuff going here. So we are going to take... Are we going to chump? I think we'll just take for this turn. Save these chumpers for a little later. Charging Tuscadon. Gross. So we don't want to be hit by that because it does double damage. So we'll take 4. That is fine. We won't attack in, which means we do have a bunch of blockers for the Charging Tuscadon now. But will our 5-drop be hasty and awesome? Our 5-drop will be hasty and I guess awesome enough. It's a 4/4, so we can just come in. Yeah, just in for 4. It's like a giant beetle. Original Ravnica, you say? Grave Shell Scarab. Cool. So I assume they won't block here unless they just chomp. No, no blocks. So they go to 15. That is cool. That is fine by me. So if this Tuscadon comes in, we will double block the 3/4 and the 1/3 with it. We're going to take 4 off the Great Horn, but that's fine. Opponent's 6-drop is a 4/5, and it's going to fight at random. So regardless of what it picks, it will kill it, and it will not die. Kills my 2/2. Wasn't doing anything with it anyways. In with the Great Horn, in with the Tuscadon. Okay. Well, that's 1 dead Tuscadon. Oh, I'm going to lose my hasty guy, though. Makes haste for everybody. That's fine. 'Tis fine, 'tis fine. We're on 6 drops. We can get back into this game. We're up on a life. 4/5 is definitely a threat. Definitely a threat. Let's drop our 6-drop, see what we can get here. It's a 6/6 flyer. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice all of the permanents I control and discard my hand. Exile the top 6 cards of my library. You can cast an... Okay. So, not the best. Also, that mythic symbol is really red. Not the best until a little bit later in the game. Well, actually, no, because you sack all your other permanents you control, like even my lands. Yeah, so basically, we're going to swing in for 6 to kill them with this. Otherwise, it's just going to block for days. I feel like there's some janky stuff you could do with this in various formats. Opponent's 7-drop is a 10/10 flyer. They have to champion an Eternal. They don't have an Eternal, so it's dead. That bird, lion, goat, other type of... No, lizard, lion, goat, bird is gone. Bye! That's another downside of Momir. So opponent can't attack because of our scary Hellcarver demon. And we're going to get to make a 7-drop here. 7-drop. That's 1 turn until 8. Ivory Giant, tap all non-white creatures. But no. I don't want to. Well, that sucked. So we're probably going to have to throw that Ivory Giant in front of something. We don't want to take 8 next turn. That would have our life total. Opponent on their 8-drop. Let's see what they get. 8-drop is where the good stuff lives. Like Breaker of Armies. Our team is going to have to block that next turn. So we're in trouble. We're going to go to 12. So we're going to go to 12, and next turn they're going to do 5 to us. Everybody has to block him, so he's going to kill that. And like that. We are in a bit of a pickle. Bit of a pickle. Actually, he can hit us for 9 if he wants. Takes us to 13. Baron Sengir is pretty nifty. Probably going to kill that as well. So, we'll pass the turn here. And... oh, wait, no, sorry. We're going to take 4... yeah, we could take 9. But they don't do the landfall. They just make another 8-drop. Could be greed. They could get Denizen of the Deep. Nope. They get Colossus of Akros, which I've died to a lot in my recent Momiring. Because when this becomes a 2020 indestructible trampler, it's bad news. It's bad news. Alright, so we've got to block this. And we're going to go to 5. And we're going to have Baron Sengir, and a Tree Folk alive. So at least we can still block. We can still block decently. Oh, they're going to kill Baron Sengir. Okay, we're going to have our 6/6 left alive. That's fine. But our opponent is probably going to rapidly build towards 10. It's only going to take 2 turns, and then they've got this stupid thing, and blah. Not a fan of Colossus of Akros. Kind of wish it was banned from Momir. Alright, so we go to 5. Baron Sengir dies. Would have been nice to get counters on him. And we hope we draw an 8-drop that somehow gets us back into this. So we'll actually leave a land up. We don't want a 9-drop. There's too many bad ones. It's Axelrod Gunnarsson. He's a 5/5 trample. That's about it. Whenever a creature dealt damage by Axelrod Gunnarsson dies, I get a life, and our opponent takes the damage, which isn't that exciting. But at least there's not going to be any attacks this turn. I assume they're just going to play a land past the turn. Because Colossus is just stupid. There's so little that we can do about this. We have to hit Hoverguard Sweepers, Kedrick Leviathan, Ashen Rider. Oh, they are making an 8-drop. They're not going for the easy win? Elder Deep Fiend. It's a 5/6. That's it. These Emerge Eldrazi's have actually really hurt the format a little bit because they're 8-drops that are not good. Alright. Let's drop an 8-drop, even though we could do a 9-drop or a 10-drop. It's a 5/5 flyer. Cool. Pass the turn. So Hellcarver blocks the Deep Fiend. These guys block these guys. We're fine. Opponent really should be building towards 10. Nope. Like if this was a 2020 Trample Indestructible, we're just dead. 7/5, and all opponent's creatures have haste. Pretty good. Pretty good. So we would block there, and there, and there, and take 3, go to 2. Or actually, no, we can block there. So no attacks, but hasty 8-drops are going to be scary. So let's drop another 8-drop. It's Brutal Force, 7/7. I'm going to die. At the beginning of each upkeep, I lose a life, but I draw a basic land. So down to 4. Come on, Denizens of the Deep. It's a 6/6 with haste. put a +1/+1 counter on each creature with modular. So it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Now I could drop an 11-drop next turn, which could get us Worldspine Worm, Ulamog the Infinite Gyre, Primeval Protector, Polar Kraken, which is horrible, Mycosynth Golem, which is horrible, Metalwork Colossus, which is pretty bad, or a Darksteel Colossus, or a Hypnox. So not much great at 11. So I think we're just going to have to drop another 8-drop. Hope it somehow saves us. Potentially we need to slam this. It's another Axelrod Gunnarsson. They're legendary, so we have to sack one. And we'll pass the turn, I guess. Oh, not like this. Not like this. We could do 11 in the air, but we'd have to sack everything. Pretty bad, pretty bad. Our opponent can just attack, right? Like, we've got 5 blocks, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like, we're dead. Swing sideways. Swing sideways. Turn cards sideways, and I die. Right click, attack with all. Come on. There we go. All right, so we lost that one, unfortunately. We're going to do 3 rounds of this, so I will see you guys for next round, where hopefully we get a little bit luckier.